The next very important topic that we are going to start is the Newton's rings. So Newton's rings, or the circular fringes which are obtained in this case, they are a good example of physiofringes, that is the fringes of equal thickness. And the main point over here is that the thickness of the thin film, it varies in case of physiofringes. So over here also the thickness of the film that we will take, it will vary. So how a thin film is, or you can say what kind of thin film is used in case of obtaining Newton's rings. So a plano-convex lens, it is taken. Plano-convex lens means it is plane from one side and is curved from the another side. So a plano-convex lens, it is placed on a plain glass surface. So it is placed on a plain glass surface. So therefore this lens, it will touch the plain glass surface at a point which is called as point of contact, and it is represented by capital O. So AOB, this is the curved surface of the lens, and POQ, it is the plane surface of the glass. Now how this plano-convex lens it is obtained? So if you take a sphere which is made up of glass, so a small section from that sphere, it is cut. So let's say you have a sphere which is in this manner, and you cut this sphere like this. From here you cut this sphere, so you will obtain a figure which will be just the plano-convex lens. So this small section which is obtained, this is the plano-convex lens, and it is plane from the top and is curved from the downside. So if we place a plano-convex lens on a plain glass surface, a thin film of air is formed. So the space between this curved surface and the plain glass surface, this empty space, it is filled with air. So a thin film of air is formed between the curved surface of the lens and the plain glass surface, and the thickness of the film, it varies. So you can clearly see that the thickness of the film, it varies. The thickness is 0 at the point of contact, and as you move away from the point of contact, the thickness of the air film, it increases. So a thin film of air, it is formed between the curved surface of the lens and the plain glass plate. The thickness of the air film is 0 at the point of contact, and it increases as one moves away from the point of contact. Now is the question that why circular fringes they are obtained due to this setup. So circular fringes are obtained. Now what is the experimental setup of Newton's rings is that incident normal rays, or you can say the normal rays, they are made to incident on this particular setup, that is on this lens, and the rays which get reflected, they are made to interfere with each other. So the optical part difference between the reflected rays, it is given by 2 mu t cos r. So that is the general expression. 2 mu t cos r, it is the optical part difference between the two reflected rays. So let's say the light rays, they are incident normally on this lens and they get reflected. So they will get reflected. Any incident ray, it will get reflected by this curved surface of the lens, as well as it will get reflected by this surface of glass. So there are two surfaces of the thin film. This is the upward surface, top surface of the thin film, and this is the lower surface of the thin film. So when the light is made to incident on this lens, so the light, it will get reflected from the upper surface of the thin film, and the light, it will travel through the air film, and then it will get reflected by the lower surface of the thin film. So those two light rays, they will interfere with each other. So those light rays, let's say they have an optical path difference of 2 mu t cos r. Now cos r will be equal to 1 because we are talking about normal incidence. So for normal incidence, I is equal to 0, therefore r will also be equal to 0. So the optical path difference will be just equal to 2 mu t. And what are the type of fringes which will be obtained? So that depends upon the locus of the points which are at equal thickness of the air film. So what are the points which are at the equal thickness of the air film? So this is the side view of this particular setup. So when this setup it is viewed from the top, it appears to us as a circle, because this is a section from the sphere. This is a small part which is cut from the spherical, which is cut from a sphere of glass. Therefore, if this setup it is viewed from the top, the upper surface of the lens is circular, and then the curved surface of the lens, that is this curved surface, it is at the bottom of this circle. So this is a three-dimensional picture. There is a circle when we view this setup from the top, and this curved surface it is at the bottom of this circular surface. So all the points which are at equal distance from the central point. So this is the capital O point. This point of contact as seen from the top, it will be at the center of this whole circle. So this will be the point of contact, and at all the points, these points which lie on the circumference of a particular circle, so these points they are at equal distance from the point of contact. So these points they lie on the same thickness of air film. So at this point, let's suppose at this point, let's say the thickness of the air film is 1 millimeter. So symmetrical to this point, there is another point which is at an equal distance of the point of contact, and the distance or the thickness of the air film will be 1 millimeter in this case also. So the points which are at equal distance from the point of contact, they form equal thickness of the air film. They will be at those points, the thickness of the film will be same. So these points, as they are viewed from the top, these points, the locus of these points is a circle which form equal thickness of the air film. So locus of different points of the air film of same thickness is a circle. So locus of those points at which the thickness of the air film is same, so the locus is a circle. So at all these point, thickness of the film will be the same. Therefore, the lights which are getting reflected from these points, so the optical power difference of those light rays will be also the same, because optical power difference is equal to 2 mu t cos r, and cos r is equal to 1 for normal incidence. So the thickness of the film is same only for the points which are lying on the circle with capital O as its center. So at all these points thickness is same. So in 2 mu t expression, t is also constant for only these points. So the optical power difference of the light rays which are getting reflected from these points of the circle or these points of the thin film, they will have the same optical power difference, and depending upon the value of optical power difference, if it is equal to n lambda or it is equal to n plus half lambda, we will get circular dark fringes or circular bright fringes. Now the locus of the different points of air film of same thickness is a circle with the point of contact as the center. Therefore the fringes are circular fringes. Now what is the experimental setup of Newton's rings? Here is shown an extended source of light. The light rays from this source, they are made to fall on the convex lens which is shown over here. L prime is the convex lens, and only the parallel beam of lights, they will fall on a glass plate. So here we have a glass plate, and the incident rays, only the parallel rays, they fall on the glass plate. So this is a glass plate. There will be partial transmission as well as there will be partial reflection of the incident light ray. Now incident light ray, it will get partially transmitted in this direction and it will get partially reflected in the downward direction. Now the rays which are important to us are only the rays which are going in the downward direction and are falling on the lens. Therefore we have not drawn over here the transmitted lights which go in this direction. So when these light rays, they fall on the lens. Now first of all, this glass plate, it is inclined at 45 degree with the incident rays. Therefore these parallel rays which are coming from the extended source, these parallel rays, they will fall normally on the surface of the lens, because the glass plate, it is inclined at 45 degrees with the incident rays. So when these rays, they fall on this air film which is formed over here of varying thickness, this air film, the light rays which are incident normally on this air film, they will get reflected, and those reflected light rays, they will get transmitted from this glass plate and fringes are observed using a traveling microscope. So this is the whole experimental setup of Newton's rings. So light from an extended source is made to fall on the film at nearly normal incidences with the help of a glass plate G which is inclined at 45 degrees to the light beam. The light reflected from the surface AOB. Now the two reflected lights are obtained in this case. So there is a light which is falling normally on the air film. So at the upper surface of the lens, there will be no reflection. The refracted ray, it will pass as it is. So the refracted ray, it will pass as it is, and the light, it will get reflected from this point, from the upper surface of the thin film, as well as the light ray, it will get reflected from the lower surface of the thin film. So there will be two reflected rays, and those reflected rays, then they will interfere with each other, and interference pattern will be observed using a traveling microscope. So the light rays reflected from the surface AOB, interferes with the light ray which are reflected from the surface POQ, and circular fringes are produced which are observed with the traveling microscope capital M. These fringes, they were first studied and analyzed by Newton. Now we are going to study what is the theory of Newton's rings with the reflected light. A ray of light is incident normally at point A on the lower surface of the lens, or you can say the upper surface of the film. So you can either say the lower surface of the lens or you can say the upper surface of the film. So this is the lower surface of the lens or it is the upper surface of the film. So the light ray, it is made to incident normally. So at point capital A, it will get reflected and also it will get transmitted through the thin film. Then there is another reflection at point A prime. So a part of it is reflected at A point and a part of it is transmitted through the film of refractive index mu. So mu is the refractive index of the thin film. The transmitted ray, it is reflected at A prime point on the glass plate and then it is reflected. So these two reflected rays, they will interfere with each other. Now at point capital A, the first reflected ray is getting reflected at point capital A. So this reflection is by a rarer medium because we are considering a film of air. So at point capital A, the reflection is by a rarer medium, whereas at point capital A prime, where there is second reflected ray, so that ray is getting reflected by a denser medium because we have a glass medium over here. At the bottom we have a glass surface. So at point capital A prime, when there will be reflection, so that reflection will be by a denser medium. So therefore a lambda by 2 path is introduced in case of the second reflected ray. So lambda by 2 path will be introduced, or you can say a phase of pi will change in case of the light which is reflected by at the A prime point. So as the reflection at A prime is at a denser medium, there is a change of phase of pi, or you can say change of path pi lambda by 2, unlike the reflection at A point, which is the case of reflection at a rarer medium. These reflected rays, they will interfere with each other and circular fringes are formed. Now what is the optical power difference between these two reflected rays? Now we know the optical power difference between the two reflected rays is given by 2 mu t cos r. But over here what we have is the first reflected ray is getting reflected by a rarer medium, whereas the second reflected ray, it is reflected by a denser medium. So now in this case the power difference will be equal to 2 mu t cos r plus lambda by 2. So in the case of thin film, the whole derivation that we had done in case of thin film, so in that case we got the optical power difference was equal to 2 mu t cos r minus lambda by 2, and that minus lambda by 2 was because of the first reflected ray which was getting reflected by the denser medium. But over here the second ray is getting reflected by the denser medium. Therefore here we have 2 mu t cos r plus lambda by 2, and in case of Newton's rings we talk about only normal incidences. So only normal incident rays, they fall on this surface. So therefore cos of r is equal to 1. So the optical power difference between these two reflected rays is equal to 2 mu t plus lambda by 2. So this lambda by 2 factor is introduced because of the second reflected ray which is getting reflected at A prime point and is getting reflected by a denser medium. Now what is the thickness of the film? Now T is unknown to us. The thickness of the air film, it varies as we move away from the point of contact. So at every point it is very difficult to find the thickness of the air film. So what the main task is now to express this thickness in terms of the known parameters. Now known parameters of the lens, they are the radius of curvature. Now radius of curvature, it is the radius of the sphere of which this lens is a part. Now a plano-convex lens, it is a part of a sphere, of a particular sphere, because when we cut a small section from this sphere, we get a plano-convex lens. So this sphere of which this lens is a part, this sphere, it has a particular radius, and that radius is called as radius of curvature, and it is very easy to find this radius of curvature using a spherometer. So this radius of curvature, it can be found in the laboratories using a spherometer. Now we want to express this T in terms of capital R, and another parameter is small r. So small r, it is the distance of this point from the point of contact. So at this point the thickness of the air film is small t, and this point, same point, it is at a distance of small r from the point of contact. And we know that every fringe which is obtained over here corresponding, every fringe which is formed, it is formed corresponding to the same thickness of the air film. So these are the fringes of equal thickness. So corresponding to every fringe there will be an equal thickness of the air film. So it represents the radius of the circular fringes. So this is the distance of this point from the point of contact, and this distance, it will also correspond to the radius of the circular fringes. So now our main task is to find the expression of R, is to find the expression of T in terms of small r, which is the radius of the circular fringes, and capital R. So in this diagram we will use the theorem of circles. So this is the lens, and the thickness we want to find the expression of, this is the thickness small t, and the distance of this point from the point of contact, let's say that is small r. So AE distance is small r, and AD distance will also be equal to small r. Now we will use the theorem of circle which tells us that AD into AE is equal to AO into AB. So at this point, So this theorem, it says AD into AE will be equal to OA into AB. So this is the theorem of chords in case of circles. So now what is AO? This AO, it is equal to thickness of the air film, whose expression we want to find in terms of known parameters. So this is equal to T, and AB, this whole AB, it will be equal to twice of R minus AO. So twice of R minus T. So AB will be equal to twice of R minus T, and this will be equal to AE into AD, which is equal to small r, and they will also correspond to the radius of the circular fringes which are obtained in the travelling microscope. So in this case, the thickness of the air film, it is very small as compared to that of the radius of curvature. So T is very less as compared to twice of capital R. So over here T can be ignored. So T is negligible as compared to twice of capital R. So T can be neglected over here. So we will get 2TR will be approximately equal to R square. So from here we can evaluate the expression of T. So T will be equal to R square divided by twice of capital R. So this is the expression of, this is the way of finding the expression of small t, the thickness of the air film in terms of its distance from the point of contact and the radius of curvature. Therefore, the path difference between the reflected rays at a distance r from the center. So the path difference between the rays which are reflected at a point which is at a distance of small r from the center. So that path difference is equal to 2 mu t plus lambda by 2. So now in terms of t we will put its value, which is 2 mu r square by twice of capital R plus lambda by 2. So this will be equal to mu r square by capital R plus lambda by 2. So this is the optical path difference between the two reflected rays which are reflected at a point of r distance from the point of contact, which are at a distance of r from the point of contact. So those reflected rays, they have an optical path difference which is given by this. So now optical path difference is given by this formula. So in this all terms are constant except small r. So as you will move away from the point of contact, the distance r, it will increase as you will go out of, or as you will move away from the point of contact, the r, it will increase. So the optical path difference will also change. Now according to the value of optical path difference, if it is equal to n lambda, we will get circular bright fringes, and when it is equal to n plus half lambda, we will get circular dark fringes. Now for the case of maxima, the point A that we had shown in the last diagram, the point A will appear bright if the path difference between the light rays which are reflected at point A and point A prime, those reflected lights, if they will have an optical path difference of n lambda, so the circular fringes which are obtained corresponding to this point, it will be a bright circular fringe. So optical path difference is equal to mu r square by capital R plus lambda by 2, and if it is equal to n lambda, so then we will get a maxima. So from here we can substitute r by Rn. So this represents the radius of the nth bright fringe. So this Rn, it represents the radius of the nth bright fringe, and you can simplify this expression and you will get mu Rn square by capital R is equal to n minus 1 by 2 times lambda. Now over here the n will take values from 1, 2, 3, 4. Now n will not take a value of 0, because if you will put n is equal to 0, so on the right hand side you will get minus lambda by 2, whereas on the left hand side all the parameters, they are positive. So n, it cannot take value is equal to 0 in this particular expression. Now we will substitute the expression of Rn in terms of its diameter. Now the diameter is equal to twice of r, twice of the radius. So d square will be equal to 4 times r square. So from here you can find r square will be equal to d square divided by 4. So we can substitute rn square in terms of dn square. So dn will represent the diameter of the nth bright fringe. So we will get dn square, it will be equal to 4 times capital R n minus half times lambda divided by mu. So from this expression, if you will put Rn square as dn square by 4, so you will get this expression of the square of the diameter of the nth circular bright fringe. So the squares of the diameters of the bright rings, they are directly proportional to the odd integers, and the diameter, it can be evaluated by doing the square root on the both sides. So you will get this expression, and inside this square root we have n minus half. So the value of n is equal to 1, lower value of n is equal to 1, so you will get 1 by 2, then you will get 3 by 2, then you will get 5 by 2, and so on. So the diameter of the nth bright circular fringe, it is proportional to odd integer divided by 2, because we are getting over here 1 by 2, then you will get 3 by 2, then 5 by 2, then 7 by 2. So this is proportional to the square root of odd integers divided by 2. Similarly for the case of minima. So the dark fringes, they are formed when the optical power difference is equal to n plus half lambda. Now this m, it will take values from 0, 1 to 3. So delta, it is the optical power difference. So optical power difference we have already evaluated. It is equal to mu times Rn square by capital R plus lambda by 2. So this is the optical power difference. And when this is equal to m plus half lambda, then dark fringes are obtained. Now over here the minimum value of m, 0, that is m is equal to 0, is possible in this case, because when you will put m is equal to 0, you will get a positive term on the right hand side, and we also have positive terms on the left hand side. So on simplifying this expression, you will get mu Rm square by capital R is equal to m lambda. So from here you can find the diameter of the mth dark fringe, that will be equal to, you will substitute Rm square by dm square divided by 4. So you will get dm square is equal to 4 times m lambda capital R divided by mu. So from here you can find the expression of dm by doing the square root on the both sides. So you will get twice of m lambda capital R upon mu and its square root. So it is the dm, the diameter of the mth dark fringe, it is proportional to the square root of integer. Now m, it take integral values, so dm, it is proportional to square root of integers. Now for the case of minima, this is the condition for the case of minima, and the lowest value of m is equal to 0. Now let's suppose we put the value of m is equal to 0 in this case. So for m is equal to 0, we will get mu Rm square divided by capital R will be equal to 0. So when you will put m is equal to 0, so mu Rm square divided by capital R, it will be equal to 0. So means the Rm square, or you can say R0, we are putting the value of m is equal to 0. So R0, it will be equal to 0. So this is the radius of 0th order dark fringe, and from here we have seen that when you will put m is equal to 0, the radius will come out to be equal to 0, and radius is 0 for the central fringe. So for the central fringe, now what is r? R is the distance of the point from the point of the contact. So r is the distance of this particular point, of any point on the thin film from the point of contact. So when r is equal to 0, r is 0 at this point, at this point of contact, at this point of contact which is shown by a cross. So at this point of contact r is equal to 0, and the lights which get reflected from this point, they make a central fringe. So lights which fall on this point and get reflected, they will form the central fringe. So what is the nature of the central fringe? If it is a dark fringe or it is a bright fringe. So in the case of minima, when you will put m is equal to 0, so you get r0 is equal to 0. So the radius of the 0th order dark fringe, it comes out to be equal to 0. So from the condition of minima, we get the radius of the 0th order dark fringe, it comes out to be equal to 0. So means at r is equal to 0. At r is equal to 0, we get a dark fringe. Whereas in this case, in the case of maxima, when you will put n is equal to 1, the minimum value of n is equal to 1. So when you will put n is equal to 1 in this expression, so when you will put n is equal to 1, you will get a finite number or finite value of the first bright fringe. So you will get a finite value of the first bright fringe. So the first bright fringe, it is formed at some distance from the point of contact, whereas the first dark fringe or the 0th order dark fringe, it is formed at r is equal to 0, means at point of contact. So the central fringe for the case of thin film, if the thin film is air, so the central fringe for the air thin film in case of Newton's rings, it is a dark fringe.